Off this stream with the biggest story of the day. Microsoft is back in the good graces of gamers. Why? Because they just made the Game Pass cheaper. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The new CEO of Microsoft is in an intense game of chess. And it seems Miss Asha has made her first move. Microsoft has announced effective today, not next week, not next month, not next year. Today, nigga, today. It will be cutting the price of the Game Pass. Following a report last week that fledgling game division CEO Asha believed that it had become too expensive for players. However, the monkey's paw has curled for Call of Duty players as future releases from the iconic franchise will no longer be coming to the subscription service at launch. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It was a trade-off. They said, okay, we can make it a little bit cheaper, but we're going to have to get rid of something. That means you will not have day one access to Call of Duty if you have Game Pass, but you will have access to all the Bethesda games as well as all the indie games and stuff like that. As revealed in a new Xbox Wire post, Game Pass Ultimate will be dropping from $29 to $22 a month, while PC Game Pass players will save a couple bucks on accessing some of the best PC games around. The plan will now set you back $13.99 a month, down from $16.49, which is a significant reduction, particularly at the time when everything only seems to be getting more expensive. Shout out to Gamer Word with the sub. Appreciate it. There have been plenty of mutterings when Sharma took the helm back in February, but I honestly can't believe it happened. Don't get me wrong. It's still more expensive to sub than it was before Microsoft's big price hike in October last year, but at this point, we can take what we can get. Of course, there's a catch, and it's a substantial one. If you're a Call of Duty enjoyer, starting this year, new installments in the FPS game series won't be available on the service immediately. Microsoft says they will instead be added to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Pass the following holiday season, about a year later. So they come out with Modern Warfare 4 this year. It wouldn't be available on the Game Pass till 2027. Effectively, you won't be able to play this year's Call of Duty on Game Pass until it is already cycled out of relevance. The reason I think they picked Call of Duty is because it's one of the most expensive acquisitions that they've had. And it fucked with the sales, the hard sales of Call of Duty when they put it on the Game Pass, and they probably didn't see enough boosts in subscriptions in order to justify putting Call of Duty on there. I will say, with them lowering the price but then moving and getting rid of Call of Duty, I'm on a year-by-year basis. I mean, I was already kind of like that, but I'm really on a year. Now that Call of Duty is $70 again, bro, I'm letting y'all know right now. God damn it. If Call of Duty is not absolutely fuego the year it comes out, it's getting great reviews. Fans are praising it. We're going to have to skip it. I refuse to pay $70 a year for fucking Call of Duty, man. Shout out to Drawn Bob with the sub. Appreciate it. They barely lowered the price, though. A win's a win. You got to take what you... Don't do that. You got to take what you can get, bro. Ultimately, this is just a result of their decisions to acquire all these studios, and they probably sat down and had a meeting and said, how can we make this more cheaper while also adding value? To be fair, at $22 a month, the Game Pass will still be worth it so long as every year they're dropping something on the level of Expedition 33 and a bunch of other different games. I mean, you're still getting the Bethesda games and stuff like that. If you're a single player game, you're still going to be eating, but 30% cheaper, the fuck is he talking about? I'm gonna give them a W, because to me it sounds like at least they're trying to find a happy medium. There's two main takeaways from this story, right? Because you're complaining about, oh, it's not a big enough price reduction. There's two main takeaways from this, and they're both positive. A, Asha, the new CEO of Xbox, is not just running her mouth, she's actually listening. Okay, let me rephrase that. Early data suggests, because we do need some more data on her, but early data suggests that she's not running her mouth. She is listening and she's trying. This is a happy medium, okay? They got to make some money, but they're trying to reduce the cost, and they found a way to do it, okay? So bare minimum, she is trying to listen. The second main takeaway I have from this, baby steps, is there is potential for exclusives to come back to Xbox. That's a rumor. heavy discussions, serious discussions are being happened over at Microsoft of returning exclusives back to the platform. And depending on who you are, you might feel a little bit of, or you might feel a little. Now, the pro consumer in me, I like everybody to be able to play any game on any platform. That's the pro consumer in me. But what's the best decision? Unfortunately, exclusives are a necessary evil for platforms. It's how you get people on your platform. I think if Expedition 33 was an exclusive for the Xbox last year, especially the way that it just I'm talking about steamrolled award season, I think that might have moved a lot of Xboxes. That or got more subscriptions on Game Pass. Well, for PC, for the people. I just saw a tweet. Someone's trying to slander Sarah, saying how, yeah, I got that too. I got that saved. At the very least, the Xbox Wire post states that the Game Pass will continue to host all the existing COD games it currently offers. Additionally, if you still intend to play this year's game, the savings from today's Game Pass price drop will cover a copy. In that sense, everyone wins, but more so folks who don't care about Call of Duty. Yeah, I think this is a win for people who don't care about Call of Duty. Shout out to CB Film with the super chat. He said games as a service was always a dumb idea. Sony had a better idea with theirs, even though now it's damn near too much, even though they give you 3 free games. This didn't always have to be more expensive. Like, I think the biggest issue is and I stand on it, I think Xbox, I don't think games as a service is a dumb idea. I think Xbox put the cart before the horse. What they should have did is they should have either bought Activision or Bethesda and then waited like 5 years. See if they were picking up more Game Pass subscribers. Because like I just think they acquired too many studios too quickly, which means they got to make their money back even quicker. They should have they took on too much too soon. I think they should have eased into the acquisitions if they wanted to take that route. I think that's the biggest issue. I think that's why you're not seeing PlayStation really bumping up their prices too much every year. For the simple fact, the only thing they've recently acquired was Bungie, and even still, they didn't pay as much for Bungie as Microsoft paid. In my opinion, they might have overpaid for Bethesda and Activision too. Like how valuable really is Call of Duty in 2026? It's still popular, but is it really moving the needle? I don't know. Like I feel bad for the people who didn't live through the era where games like Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, these games were in conversation for Game of the Year. I don't think in my lifetime there will ever be another Call of Duty where that series is in conversation for Game of the Year. So like I feel like they might have overvalued out Activision, especially since they're not even tapping into the other Activision IPs like Crash Bandicoot or what's the game with Alex Mercer? They have a slew of IPs and they're not using them, bro. Black Ops 8 will be PS4's Game of the Year. Say it ain't so. Prototype. So I think the biggest issue is they just put the horse before the cart. Like games as a service can still work because, like you kind of said it in your super chat, Sony's doing better in terms of maintaining the pricing. They saw Modern Warfare 2019 and thought they could keep up the momentum. That shit was an anomaly. So I'm gonna give a W to Microsoft. They're paying attention. You scored 1 point with me, Asha. We're paying attention to what you're doing. We're keeping an eye on what your next move is. Unfortunately, today's positive news was somehow flipped into a negative by some dumbasses on fucking Twitter. They're trying to turn this into some other shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this tweet and I'm gonna give my take on it because somebody asked me what I thought in the chat. This dude tweeted out, Asha's already doing much more for Xbox than Sarah Bond ever did. Xbox Game Pass's ultimate pricing is dropping from $29 to $22. PC Game Pass will drop from $6.49 to $13. However, Game Pass Ultimate is losing COD Day 1 launches, and it is still $3 more expensive than the previous hike. However, Ubisoft Plus Classics and the Fortnite crew is still included, a reasonable feature for some gamers and deal breakers of others. What are your thoughts on this decision? My thoughts on this decision, as stated earlier, I think this is a W. Asha's listening, but I think this tweet is top tier corny. What the fuck does Sarah Bond have to do with this, bruh? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go as far and be super woke and piss people off. It comes across as anti-black. I'm not gonna lie. Sarah Bond has nothing to do with this shit. She was second in command. So what the picture should be, because she's the new CEO, it should be a picture of Asha and a picture of fucking Phil. The reason Sarah didn't do any of this is because she was second in command. It was ultimately Phil's decision. I'm not gonna lie, this is the gaming equivalent to 2024 when it came time to vote and people were getting interviewed by CNN and Fox and they were like, oh, the reason I didn't vote for Kamala was because what was she doing during X, Y, and Z? Nigga, Biden was the president. What are we talking about? It's literally the gaming equivalent. From my understanding, she was more in charge of like the marketing and stuff like that. And like I said, to be critical of her, I don't know if that Xbox Everywhere, and that's why they took that shit down, was a good ad. I don't know if that was a good idea. But she was more in charge of the marketing side and the networking. This was Phil's decision. So that's why I said, I'm like, why the fuck did you? It feels like anti-black, but then it also feels like they're trying to make into like a woman war type of thing. And I'm like, bro, it's Phil and Asha. Get this shit the fuck out of here, bro. Shit is corny. And this is what I said, high key. I'm glad somebody in the chat brought this up because I definitely saved this tweet. People are starting to notice stuff like this. And what I mean is like, if we're not being honest about the issues, there's no way that we can solve them. This shit is disingenuous as fuck, bro. If we're not gonna be honest about the issues, we're never gonna solve them. There's no honesty in this bullshit, dude. Motherfuckers just found a way to hate her. This woman has not said anything since she got fired. That shit disingenuous as fuck. That woman has not said anything since she got fired months ago. Let me see. Shout out to the Terriers with a sub. It's a weird tweet. Also gonna act like she wasn't there day one helping the Game Pass. I don't know, bro. Bringing it back though, and some more positive news. We did a positive, a negative, now a positive. Xbox VP clarifies a key detail about Project Helix, but questions remain. An Xbox higher up has responded to a rumor regarding the next generation platform Project Helix, clarifying a key detail about the machine, which can play both console and PC games, but his answer didn't clear everything up. A claim by leaker Kelpert L2 said Microsoft would sell Project Helix chips to companies like Asus and MSI, thereby allowing people to buy a version of the system that runs on the Helix guts. This led to speculation that Project Helix was not in fact a first-party Xbox console and might be more akin to a third-party device like the ROG Ally X from Asus. But that isn't necessarily completely true. According to Xbox's next-gen VP Jason Ronald, he said on social media, Project Helix will be available as a first-party Xbox console. The original leaker said Project Helix won't be sold directly to consumers by Microsoft, but would instead be available through third-party sources. Basically, what the leaker was saying is like Xbox was taking the route of, you remember the original Steam machine, not the new one, but the Steam machine from like 10 years ago, where like any company could manufacture their own version of it and call it a Steam machine. He was basically saying that like there would have been an MSI version of Project Helix, AMD and Intel version of Helix. There would have been you get the idea. It would have been a bunch of different configurations, and Xbox is saying that's not true. Xbox is going to be an Xbox console. That's it. Ronald's statement makes it clear that Project Helix is a first-party Xbox console, but there is wiggle room for there to be other options. Microsoft has said that listen. Take this with a grain of salt because it's a rumor. If there is actual wiggle room for there to be other options, Xbox, don't do that. Don't confuse the people who just go to GameStop and pick up consoles. There's a reason why the original Steam machine failed. It had too much going on, and the mom and dad who just go to GameStop and are just looking to pick up something for Timmy, they're gonna be confused. They got confused by the Wii U. Okay, they thought that was a Wii accessory. So you don't think they're gonna get confused by all these configurations? Nah, just make it one new Xbox. That's it. What up, everybody coming through? Microsoft has said the Project Helix system will help usher Xbox into a more flexible, connected future. At the Game Developers Conference this year, Ronald said the ambition of Project Helix is to meet players where they are. We're breaking down the barriers between console and PC games for more seamless cross-device play, and we're making the Xbox experience consistent across screens, he said. This also gives developers a simpler, more unified path to reach more players while helping reduce development costs. Project Helix's ability to play PC games seemingly pitted against Valve's Steam machine, which is set to expect a release later this year. They're just yapping. Just like them switching up on Pragmata with the VA for Diana. I seen that, bruh. Everybody loves Diana, and then I seen a tweet go viral. They found out that she's black, so now they hate Diana. How could this be? A white woman could be played by a black woman? It's called acting, guys. Yeah, weird, corny takes. Now you hate the character. You said, no way. I'm being so for real, bro. I should have saved that fucking tweet. Let me see if I can find it. But you know those anti-woke. They're calling Diana woke now. Diana woke. Pride. Here we go. Pragmata's Japanese voice actor is Japanese, so why is it when a white child's depicted, a grown black woman is playing her for the English dub? They're Netflixing voice actors now too. Chuds, Pragmata is so revolutionary. It's going to reverse decades of leftist, anti-nationalist propaganda. I mean, girls are really going to start spreading. Yeah, so if you're not following what he's saying, the anti-woke crowd, the agenda that they're pushing is they say they love Pragmata because it's encouraging women to have kids again. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. Hold up. Matter of fact, they actually used one of Watt's videos to try to prove their point. Watts got caught in the propaganda. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you how weird these niggas are, bro. Mighty Keith tweeted this shit out. Diana has become, well, it's a screenshot. He didn't tweet it. Diana has become the most important hard reset of the moment. Ladies are going back to their factory settings. Translation, get back in the kitchen and have kids. They used a Watts clip, bruh. So that's what they're referencing right there with him when he's saying that, oh, it's going to make women have more children again, bruh. But now that they found out she's black, they said, I'm just happy more people are calling this shit out, bruh. I'm just happy more people are calling this shit out. These niggas is fucking losers, dude. There's no way to even like debate this or entertain it. Just call them losers and keep it moving, man. She did a great job until you found out. I thought it was merit-based. I thought it was all about talent. Watts on the far right propaganda. Heard it was first. You know, it's funny too. I can't show y'all, but we put it in the group chat. We was like, yo, you ended up on the far right side of Twitter for YouTube gaming. And she laughed. She's in Japan right now. She's like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, I'm in Japan swinging a big sword, bro. She has like a picture of her holding one of those Monster Hunter swords or whatever. Yeah, go live your life, bro. They wilding over here in America, unfortunately. So just know that she thinks y'all are losers. So yeah, that's your Pragmata update. Motherfuckers, I agree with Ethos, man. I miss the era when a game would just come out and we could just have fun and talk about the game, what we liked and disliked. It's just every game that comes out, there's always something wrong with it, bro. Something wrong. If you're wondering why I titled my YouTube version of the stream after Ubisoft, saying they love to deep throat L's, I've got some details. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, the remake, doesn't include the DLC or the multiplayer. The upcoming Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, called Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, won't have multiplayer or DLC. The announcement will come during Ubisoft's April 23rd Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced showcase, which is tomorrow. Wait, no, it's 2 days from now. Which will officially reveal Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced for the first time. It will announce that the game will be a pure story-driven adventure and that Ubisoft wants to focus on Edward's adventure. Which I think that pretty much confirms, because there was a rumor floating around that they're going to remove all the modern day stuff out of the game. So not only are they removing the multiplayer and the DLC, they're removing the modern day stuff. They're removing like a third of the fucking game. As part of that decision, it was decided that the game would not have its original DLC or multiplayer and would instead include new story elements, content, and systems. Okay, well, it's going to have new story elements. I'm curious to see how much new content it's actually going to have then. That makes me halfway interested in it then. It was said that the original game, its DLC, and the other content will still be available. According to our sources, Ubisoft doesn't intend to release any original DLC, even if the game is a huge success. Insider Gaming understands that at least one more Assassin's Creed game is in development. They're just yapping. But this line right here is interesting. It was said that the original game, its DLC and the other content will still be available. Do you have to pay for it? You gotta pay for the DLC? Like, it just doesn't come together? Like, what? A part of me feels like they just started working on this remaster remake. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. It hasn't been officially announced. But if you go on Twitter and search Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced screenshots or like gameplay footage, there's been video and screenshots that have leaked online. I don't know if they're real or not, but if they are real, I'm letting you, and we're going to find out in 2 days. I'm letting y'all know, temper them expectations. because the footage I saw looked like the old version. I was like, what's new in this? It looked dusty as hell, bro. It looked like an Xbox 360 game. Yo, shout out to Airbags with the $5 super chat. It's crazy how Xbox Game Pass had to do away with COD, so the Game Pass can be cheaper. COD is so bad that it's not worth the price increase. Type shit. So this is gonna be terrible. PS3 game running now on the PS4. It did not. I was not impressed, but I'm hoping that footage was just somebody trolling. They just went and recorded the PC version of the game from the early 2010s and then uploaded and said, "Look, I got it." So we'll see when the official release comes out. I'm hoping that was just some bullshit. Did I hear about the leak of the next season of Street Fighter 6? No, we worried about Invincible right now. They about to take the remake back out, same way with the Prince of Persia remake. Other Ubisoft news, exclusive. Ubisoft cancels Alterra. It's an Animal Crossing inspired game. Another Ubisoft game has found itself on the chopping block. Insider Gaming has learned that its in-development game Alterra has officially been canceled. The news was broken to staff working on the game on Tuesday, and they were all sent home for the day. Wait, is that today? Today? Oh, shit. Imagine coming in, you've been working, they say go home, bro. There were no layoffs announced at the time of the cancellation. Employees working on the game were put on availability for other projects within the company. That translation, get to work on that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync. That said, it's unclear what all this means for the Ubisoft studios that's been working on the game as well. The other ones, I mean. First reported by Insider Gaming in 2024, Alterra was a social sim game inspired by Animal Crossing. The game featured a voxel art style and mechanics similar to Minecraft, where players could build what they want with gathered materials. Images seen in the past by Insider Gaming shows Matterling, the NPCs in the game, that look similar to Funko Pop characters. The world consisted of different biomes that housed unique creatures and materials to meet, fight, and gather. So it had like a Pokemon element to it. We already had an Animal Crossing. They was trying to, innovate, give it some competition. Its cancellation comes at a time when Ubisoft has shut down multiple projects. Yeah, we know, blah, 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 blah. What's the last good news from Ubisoft? I don't know, man. I feel like the last 6 months, it's just been after. And it's funny? Because sometimes I feel like we go too hard on certain companies. I don't care. I don't care, bruh. Because as much as I like Ubisoft's older games, they deserve their failure, dude. They did this to themselves. So it's up to y'all to dig. And look, I'm going to be fair. If that Black Flag Resync look fire, cool. I'm going to gas it up. Whatever other games they got coming down the pipeline, if they fire, I'm going to gas them up. But right now, your back is against the wall, and I'm going to need them to act like it is, okay? Because right now, they're not acting like they losing, bro. Yeah, they steamrolled themselves downhill, which is unfortunate, man. Because you never want to see a legend go. Now, Poca Pia and Tamagotchi Life swooped in, and Ubisoft was like, fuck, right. Because people in the chat were like, well, why were they making this game? Yeah, Poca Pia and that Tamagotchi Life or whatever game, those are two of the biggest games this year. Those lifestyle, goofy sims, people like that shit. The Cozy Gamer. The Cozy Gamer is a genre of games that's definitely on the rise in the last 5 years. There was space for Ubisoft because I don't feel like there's any dominant force in that besides maybe Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. But like there was wiggle room for like a third big one. But Ubisoft said, fuck it. What about shut down the whole company? I don't know about all that. The Last of Us star, Troy Baker, wants to start his own game studio, but he won't rush it. Actor and musician Troy Baker, known for his work in The Last of Us and the Uncharted franchise, has announced that he's exploring the possibility of opening his own game studio. Speaking of kind of funny games, the veteran and prolific gaming actor said he wants to tell his own stories and take a stab at making games with his own team. I want to build a team. I'm excited about building a studio with people that I've worked with, that I trust, and then going, here's my idea. How can we make it better? He said, as reported to Games Radar. Baker isn't planning to start a studio tomorrow or next week. He said he wants to avoid doing something rushed, in part because he's seen other people who have rushed into opportunities. Baker said he wants to start a studio and he wants to do it right. And especially, I'm going to create a studio where people are going to be responsible for my choices. I have to make the right ones, he added. Baker would not be the first gaming actor to start a studio. Abakar Salim, who played Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. Oh yeah, he made the Tales of Zoo game. Baker told Eurogamer that should he start a studio, it would build on his learnings from his various collaborations over the years with people like Bioshock, Death Stranding, Neil Druckmann, Naughty Dog, blah, 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 blah. What else did he say? These people are paragons in the industry. I've worked with those people and I've learned so much from them, he said. And what I'm excited about doing is taking those tenets, taking those principles of widely successful titles, not just in terms of sales and figures, but the stories that define the industry and being able to innovate and replicate and emulate those processes and practices. I feel like he could do it. I'm gonna cloud him up. I feel like he could do it. He's got the right mind frame too. He's got the right mind frame. Take your time with it. I feel like this is a natural progression for him because I would imagine that like he's played damn near half the video game characters that we love from the industry. He probably still has a passion for it, but he's probably looking for something new. Yeah, I would say follow your dreams. Put together a good team of devs. I heard Ubisoft is constantly laying off talented people. They made Expedition 33. There's no shortage of talented developers out there. They're constantly getting laid off, unfortunately. You also have the advantage that you're one of the biggest voices in the industry, so that I think where he has an advantage is he probably loves video games, but he's also a great actor. So if he puts together a great small team to make games, he can also say, hey, you'll also get my voice for free. I'll voice one of the characters. So he has a little bit of star power behind that. But here's another thing I'm gonna add in there too. If you do create a studio, don't just put yourself on, man. Don't just put yourself on. Nigga, put me on, man. I'm trying to voice act, man. Come on, like. I wanna see you. Hey, get the pipeline going. Let me get a job, nigga. Let me get a job. I don't want to see you play every fucking character. Let me get a job. Let somebody else get a job, man. You ate half the jobs in the industry, bruh. Pass the torch, nigga. Yeah, let the motion man talk. Why I shout out Virginia? Because last year Trump demanded Texas governor, whatever Abbott's name is, to redistrict, gerrymander the map in Texas so that they can get more red seats. He's basically trying to steal the election, the midterms, basically. So in California, Gavin Newsom had us vote. We redistrict, we got more blue seats. They just did it in Virginia today. And Virginia's pretty much gonna flip the blue, basically. Basically expect a 3 a.m. rant from Donald Trump on True Social tonight. He's gonna be mad because they just got like 10. Basically, Trump's plan to try to steal the midterms is backfiring, and he's fucking himself over. So expect a rant basically at 3. It's gonna be fucking funny. Trust and believe. Finally, we're playing dirty back. Exactly, Cammy. That's why I said shout out to Virginia. Y'all was acting right. They playing dirty back, bruh. I wasn't updated with that. It's all over fucking Twitter. It's a pretty big deal because Virginia's a purple state. It could go either way. So that says to me, because in some polls, he's at like 29%. People hate this nigga, bro. People fucking hate this nigga. What else I got for you? Oh, they announced the Pragmata figurine, if you're into that shit. Capcom presents a stunning scale figurine of Hugh and Diana from Pragmata. Capture their powerful bond as they navigate the dangers of the corrupted lunar station. Pre-order now at Godsmile Online. You're into that? I don't know. Rightfully so. Fuck the mango. People just over that shit. $250, nigga. I knew it was clanker propaganda. I fucking knew it, man. They want you to fall in love with this clanker, so then you just shovel your wallet out. And that's a hard pass. I mean, if somebody want the link, I wasn't gonna get it regardless because I don't have the shelf space, but 250 fucking bones. Capcom, do y'all know what kind of economy we in? That's what I'm saying, bruh. What the hell?